Hey Bob, Logan was talking today about how just guys seemed pretty happy and new energy coming back to the rink and being home. Can you just speak to that and how that the sense of the mood you got today?
Absolutely. I think it's a completely different team. Looking at some of the faces they walking in, even for myself, I think the coaches, getting to sleep in your own bed and waking up and coming to your own arena. I think it's just, wore on us a little bit, the road trip, and there's some good things that happen, some things that we need more of. But all in all, I think that, we're in a position where we're home now. We get to recharge the batteries, and I think, I could just sense the energy in the air today, and guys are just happy. And I think the one advantage is if you look at our schedule, building that schedule out after this road trip here, we've already taken care of 12 road games. We know the schedule sets up in our favor in the second half.
Yeah, that was actually something I wanted to ask you about because you're trying to evaluate everybody and evaluate the team, but it's pretty obvious there were some hardships here for the last 30 days, 30 plus days. How do you can you fairly evaluate everyone before you get a stretch at home or before you get a stretch of home games?
I think you can. I think you want to be able to, though, obviously put the whole picture together with some home games and some last changes and, matchups and things like that. You get exposed a little bit on the road in certain situations. But, for me personally, as a coach, I think that what I'm looking for is more consistency from the team. But, in each line, no one wants to sit there and have to tinker and change personnel and put different guys in and out every night and change line mates. That's my main concern, and we're going to get there. And that's a little easier to do when you start having some home games and you get your whole game established. We had probably one of our best practices that we've had since the start of training camp today, and that just goes to show you, I think, mentally where we're at.
Curtis.
Bob, obviously the news last night was that the Barracuda game against Henderson had to be canceled, and the news this morning was that a Barracuda player had tested positive for COVID. What is the team's concern level right now that some of these players won't be able to come back to the team later this week just because of protocols and things of that nature?
Oh, well, I guess no one wants to see that happen, but if it's happened, it's probably a perfect time. I think we have a week here where the American League can get through their protocol, and we have all our guys here practicing, and if we go to Anaheim on Friday and Saturday, and we got a full roster here, so it doesn't really affect our team in any way, and I know they're working through that issue down there.
Are Curtis Gabriel and Josef Kornosh with the team right now?
With our team, yes, they are.
Okay. What's sort of the things you want to maybe concentrate on this week as far as the next few days in practice?
We're adjusting a couple of things. We've taken a step back here, and I know I met with the coaches after the game and yesterday before we left, and today, and we've made a few adjustments. What we'd like to do, from a 5-on-5 situation, we're going to work a little more on special teams, but breaking out of our end with a little more possession. Right now, we're not doing quite a good enough job with that. Pushing the pace a little bit, and tinkering and adjusting where we're not spending so much time on our end. I mean, we're okay in the high danger scoring areas, protecting our slot, but I think we're still spending too much time in our D zone, which means obviously we don't have gas in the tank when we get to the offensive zone. So we're adjusting a few things there, and going to work. We're going to touch on everything, really, to be honest with you. And it's a perfect week to do that. It's sort of be able to take a step back and really internally fix some of the stuff that we think is fixable.
Shane.
Hey Bob, good to see you back. You're looking great in HD there, by the way.
A little too real for me.
Just wondering, just for yourself, what's the best thing about being at home?
Oh, you know what? Just being able to cook a home cooked meal. That was nice. Waking up in your own bed and just, I think that really the feel of, be able to get in your car and go to your own office and, and just be able to be around, your own environment that you're used to. I think, even the guys were saying that on the road when you walked into an arena, whether it was Colorado or Minnesota, you almost look there and you go, geez, you're almost jealous of the other team that they're in their own facility and getting to go home and do their own thing. And I think a lot of guys, obviously, it was nice to be back with their families and their kids and things like that. So that's a huge part of, being mentally sharp, is that all aspects of your life is going well. And, they didn't get to go through that for the last little while. So, I think we're in a good spot. We're a couple games away from being right where we need to be, and we know we got to be better. And, I know I'm rambling a little bit. You look at Colorado, what they did, and they walked into Minnesota last night and doubled them up in shots and beat them 5-1. That's a good hockey team. And I said this a couple of days ago, and in order to beat a team like that, you need your best players being the best, and we didn't. And so we know we have some work to do, but we're going to get there.
What'd you make for yourself, your first home cooked meal in a while?
I had 2 chicken breasts last night with the Caesar salad.
And speaking of some of the I guess persistent issues that the team has been having this season, one thing you mentioned a lot is wanting to hang on to pucks more, having more offensive zone possession time, and so what are a couple of things that you guys might be seeing that to improve yourselves in that area?
Well, that's we're going to address that tomorrow. Today, we were talking more about breakouts and some defensive zone adjustments, but tomorrow we're going to concentrate on the offensive part. It starts with our rush game. I think, we're getting across the line, and if we're in a change situation or we don't have enough help, we have to delay and we have to, wait for the second layer to come in, and we're not doing a real good job of that right now. We're throwing it away. I think the other thing is getting our D more active. We've given them the green light to do that, and when we have full possession, but we still have to start rolling around, and we have to have some more motion up top. I think Minnesota did that to us. Colorado did that to us. You see St. Louis defensemen. We have to have more of a 5-man configuration in the offensive zone instead of having 3 guys working and 2 guys standing at the point the old school way. So we're talking about that, and just protecting pucks and 2-on-1 and creating more 2-on-1s in the offensive zone.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob.
Chris.
Coach, welcome back. We're really happy to see you. I know when we got the press release that I was excited you guys are coming back. What was that announcement like? Was there a big cheer to the team? Like, how did that all go? Can you take us back to when you found out and how you announced it to your team?
Yeah, I guess it was about a week ago when we found out that we'd be coming back. And, we went through a little bit of a roller coaster because we thought we might be able a chance to come back and play our first 2 games at home. And then when they said we couldn't, and, then we were trying to figure out, okay, well, maybe we, we'll just stay on the road here. And then at the last minute, the thing happened with Vegas with the COVID, and gave us a chance to, come home. And I think guys were happy about that. I think it was time. I think that, I watched some of the reactions of guys getting off the plane yesterday and their wives pulling up and getting out of the car and getting big hugs, and they're, seeing their families sort of reunite after that amount of time. And then again today, when I came into the rink, it's just a completely different feel, and the guys are feeling good. And that's where you really need to be mentally to have any kind of success in this league. It's not just the physical. You got to be mentally prepared and in the right headspace.
I guess to what I was asking, and that was a good answer, obviously, but the moment, I imagine when there's a post, locker room, a win, you give a speech, was it like one of those where it was a big cheer, or that wasn't how it went?
No, you know what? It was during the day, and it was a bunch of, there was a buzz. I think it was in a lunchroom, and one of those, we were in a ballroom, and everybody's getting their phones, and you could tell, you looked around, and there's 25 guys on their phone right at the same time, looking at the update that things were going to open back. Yeah. So, it was one of those days.
Okay. And then lastly, there was a lot of good line of question about what you would do, but over the next couple of days, you can't do much, but is there anything else you're excited about to maybe watch on TV, or when you got some downtime, things you excited besides waking up in your own bed and food?
Using my my air fryer. That was a big step, and being able to make my own coffee in the morning. But more than anything, it's like anything else. I mean, we were living out of a suitcase, so just to go home and be able to do some laundry and actually pick some fresh clothes out of the closet to wear.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Curtis.
Bob, obviously the news was that, the Vegas's coaching staff is in isolation right now. I don't know if you, obviously, Pete and Spotter for a long time. You guys had a chance to connect at all?
Yeah, I talked to Pete at length probably about 2 days ago. And, just talked about what they're going through and catching up and making sure all those guys are okay, kind of thing. Yeah, but definitely, I still stay in touch with those guys quite often.